fantastic. Models, I need everyone to hear me.
Yeah. Go. Look how I'm reaching my goals. Whip it. This head came right off the stove. Trumps, Elise. She wanna shop for some clothes. I told her, baby, you know what it is. I might have put you in vogue. The rolls of the Maybach, whatever I'm picking, no matter she going. Protect her that AP, I might cop a Richard. I'm tired of the rollies.
Good evening, Nation family, and to all those watching online, could I get a huge round of applause? I am Minister Shewa, and I'm joined here today with PT, Pastor Sam, and a few third and fourth generation publishers. As some of you may or may not know, Publishers is a title given to us this week, and it stemmed off on an amazing event this Sunday, which was the W London Fashion Show. Could I get another round of applause? I just want to give a huge congratulations to the third and fourth gen, because within ourselves, we accumulated over 86,000 views on our social media platforms. We had people like Pastor Terry cheering us on, making sure that we were all posting hashtag Pastor Tobi's Fashion Week. We also have people like Pastor Josh. If you're watching, CNG is on top, sir, unfortunately. But then I want to quickly round off by saying September 17th is genuinely a jam-packed day. Join hands and celebrate Pastor Sam, PTJ, Reverend Dapo, and lastly, myself. Next is going to be a video. Sit back and enjoy.
Hi, good day to you. It's the Fashion Week. The biggest show is being put up at the Fxmily today, and it's going to be awesome. Are you ready for this? You're going to see real fashion, but glorifying God too. That's what we do. Let's go. The best fashion walkway here, that's all we can do. Since they said there's fire, it's all good. Let's just have fun out here, take pictures as much as you can take, and let's just have fun before we get to do. Let's go, guys.
Welcome back, it's me again. And as I said earlier on, I'm joined with a few third and fourth gen publishers. As we know, Sunday was centered around fashion, so I believe we're about to get into a quick rating the fit. And if you know me, I'm brutally honest, I'm giving you a 0 if it's a 0, and I'm giving you an 11 if it's an 11. So media, if we can get our first picture, please.
What are you rating this one, Shaw?
You had to do me like that? Huh. Yeah, I'm going to pass this one to Malik. You can go.
I like the shoes. The shoes are nice. I think it would have been a bit more better with a bit of accessories, but I think it was okay fit. It was all right.
I think you're just saying that because you're from Lovers and Inspires, right? Right?
Yeah.
I think she looks like she came out of The Wizard of Oz, but it's a great fit. Genuinely, if there was a theme that she was going for, then she definitely executed that right. So that's my opinion of DJ.
Are we rating it out of 10? All right. Out of 10, I'll give this one a 6. I'll be honest.
Okay, we're not going to dwell on this one any longer. Next, please. Yes. I love a biker jacket. I definitely love a biker jacket. I think red's a beautiful color, stands out. So I'm going to give this one a 7. I like the leather pants as well. I'll give this one a 7. 7, sir.
I'll give this one an 8. I like the jacket. He's wearing black and the red pops out, as you said. So it's nice.
Minister Pastor Terry?
I think I'll give my brother Jaden here a 9.
Oh.
I think this is an amazing outfit. The leather on leather, especially with the red, definitely stands out.
I would have loved to see the shoes, you know. That also makes
That's
and
true,
breaks
though.
things. If we could get the next one, media. Yes. See,
Yeah.
Pastor Phaedra, she does something to me, you know, genuinely. Like, this is stunning. And I don't know if it's just because it's on her. Because if this was on someone else, I don't know how I'd feel about it. But this is amazing. Everything. The hair, the shoes, the set. It's beautiful.
I can't
Anyone?
lie, I do love majority of her fits. I feel like she wears them very well for how her figure is, her height, all her fits. I feel like look very good on her. So
Compliments her,
yeah,
literally.
definitely.
Anyone want to oppose? Dare you?
Oh, oppose, not oppose, not oppose. I like no oppose. This is a really hard fit. The pink as well. I think this fit is nice. So it's nice.
Not too much, partner. Next one. You see, no, guys, I have to start on this one. Wait. You see, when Pastor Nikki walks in, my mouth dropped. Ma, you are gorgeous, genuinely. And this set, it's just bad. Like that's how I'm gonna describe it.
This
Bad.
is a 10 out of 10 for me. Yeah, 10 out of 10, straight 10 out of 10. The
100%.
hair as well. Her hair from the back was flowing. Like, it looked gorgeous. Yeah, 10 out of 10.
This is serious boss moves.
I think this outfit is great. And to be honest, I was saying
Not too much, partner.
just the outfit. And I was saying that the elite family, they actually all look very great. I think they went for the same theme.
Slow down, partner.
Give them a 9 out of 10.
If we can get the next one. This one is beyond words, so I'll leave this one to someone else.
I think we can all give this 100 out of 100.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. I think PT was wearing a tie as well, but this fit, definitely. I know all of the photographers, when they saw PT come out of the car, they said, yeah, this is the owner of the program.
I'm not going to lie to you. I heard some whispers on the day, and apparently the outfit was hefty. Like, a lot, sir. So,
yeah.
Big up. Is that our last picture, media? Okay. See, and I'm not just saying this because this is my boss's, you know. But Pastor LaBelle, you did your big one. Pastor Abisola, you stopped sending me your pictures so I can pick which ones go on your Instagram, but that's fine. And Pastor Trendy, I don't need to talk too much. You know, you look good. Literally.
Honestly, I really loved Pastor LaBelle's fit. It's something I would wear personally, and the skirt was the centerpiece for me. It was really giving Uncle Waffle vibes, so yeah, I really liked it.
For Pastor Abisola, there's a picture she posted in front of the Lamborghini. Honestly, that coldest picture that I've ever seen. No, honestly, absolutely cold. And the boots as well, I loved it. Dope fit.
Oh, this is my favorite fit. I'm not even gonna lie. This was my favorite fit of the day. I saw the picture, I said, wow. Like, wow.
Pastor Shemai, you're hot. I don't need to talk too much. This is a 10 out of 10 for me. Anyone else?
This is a great fit.
Joy, I want to hear from you, sir.
I'll be honest, this is a 10 out of 10 fit.
Is it?
I liked it, yeah.
Yeah?
That's all I have to say.
Good. Last picture, please. If we can get the last picture, media. Yes. Yes. Pastor Dorothy, I love this. Genuinely. And I'm not just saying this because these are like all my family members, but genuinely, they actually look good. I'd give this a 10 out of 10 for me.
For me, Pastor Dorothy is another one that doesn't usually miss with her fits. I feel like they're all clean. She gives a certain like aura, aesthetic with her fits as well. So definitely 10 out of 10.
Okay, well, safe to say that it was only one questionable fit. All the rest were great. And I'll be passing it on to Pastor Sam.
Thank you very much. Can we give a round of applause for Sarah? Minister Shower. And I don't know, it looks like that was a job done on someone, but all good. I think we have to congratulate the W and the nation once again for an amazing, amazing program. I was looking at the amount of people that showed out for that event. The success of the event is indescribable. And like some of you have said already, social media is going off. The 3rd gen and 4th gen are going off. And the first question actually, and I'll put this as an open question, because many of you had I think I would call it front team roles, like you were at the forefront roles. My first question is, did you feel personally responsible for the success of the show? And the reason why I ask you that is, DeAndre, of course I'll allow everybody to introduce themselves in a moment, but DeAndre, for example, you work in RV Studios. Actually introduce yourself before I do that. Go on.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, PT. My name is DeAndre, also known as Dre Fades. I'm a barber at RV Hair. I've been cutting for a year now, almost a year coming October the 6th. But yeah, it's been good.
So my first question, of course I'll allow everybody to introduce as I asked it, because you're all looking amazing and stunning. My first question is, did you feel personally responsible for the success? I came into the program early in the morning and I saw your studio already set up.
Yes, sir.
You're already trimming, people getting them ready for the program. How did that feel? It would have been one of the first family events, actually, that you're part of and that you're working behind the scenes.
That's right.
So how did that feel, and did you feel personally responsible for the success of the program?
Yes, sir. It felt amazing. It was my first fashion show that I've ever been to, and it was the first time I've ever led a team of barbers at a fashion show. So there was a lot of pressures that came with it because they are new to cutting hair. I've been training them for 3 months now. So
talk to us about that team, though. What was your team of people? Who did you bring? Things like that.
So I had 2 barbers. They're 17 years old, so they're still at college. Names Rajay and Patrick. So they're part of the Fades group and RV Hair now. So they've been training for 3 months with me. They come in 3 times a week. And the pressures that we had at the fashion show were none like in the shop. Timing was difficult because there was one time we came in towards the end of the show, well, before the start of the show, started trimming some clients, and then they told us we only had 5 minutes left to perform a whole trim, otherwise the models will miss their walks.
And that's the team right there,
That's
right?
the team, yes sir.
So that pressure, you had 5 minutes to get everybody ready.
Yeah. We had 20 minutes in total, but when we came back in after a break, they gave us 5 minutes, and everybody was stressing. The trainees, they were stressing, so I had to jump in and try and help them. Yes.
How was that experience for you personally? Of course, you mentioned the age of your trainees. Your age, you're not that old.
No, sir.
So how old are you?
I'm 23 years old.
23 years old, leading a team of barbers. Of course, we're extensive. We've got so many professionals like that. But leading a team of barbers, 17 years old, behind the scenes as well. And how was that experience for you? You said it's like none other, but if you were to have to put it into words, what would you describe it as?
I would say hectic, fun, and it was different. I've never experienced something like that before. So yeah, hectic, fun, and different.
I'll come to you, Jadida. Introduce yourself. Of course, I know you. But personal responsibility towards the success of the fashion show.
So good evening, everyone. Good evening, PT. My name is Miss Jadida King. I am 20 years old, and I serve in the venues department.
You're 20 years old?
Yeah.
Wow. The way you serve, I thought you were a part of the first gen. No. Go for it.
Oh, do I look that old? So I actually I started serving in the venues department maybe 2 months ago or so. It's been hectic. Working with Pastor Alicia is a unique experience. She teaches you a lot, but I think that the pressure that comes with learning with her is a good kind of pressure. In terms of the venue itself on Sunday, it was unlike anything I've ever had to deal with before. So obviously managing a large space with a number of people, you're kind of coordinating the venue itself along with the people in it. So, but I think that the venue itself, the space worked really, really well for what we was aiming for, and the space and the events managers in the venue actually provided that kind of experience and feel that we were looking for along with the fashion show. And I think that the cars fit in perfectly with the whole walkway, just fit in with the set. So
that part was serious. How did you feel when you saw like the cars, the things coming together to make everything? No, there's never been any fashion show like it. I think that's the discussion within the nation. I get to sit down with everybody, you know, talking. We've been speaking about it. There's never been anything like that in the UK. So how do you feel when you get to a venue, 20 years old, working a part of a team, and things are coming together and you're seeing the fashion show that was once an idea, a concept, become a reality?
I think that there's no feeling like it in the world. It's exciting, and although you've kind of been part of the ideas and the creation of things, actually seeing it come into play is a whole different feeling in itself. So I think it's just like an awe moment, and you're just so excited that, oh my days, it really happened. And
I'm coming to Alejandro next. You were part of the build-up of social media and the visuals we're going to see. You were part of the W team. And first of all, how you're reviewing the fashion show, definitely, but how does it feel to have that sort of responsibility? We were talking about maybe if you were in a major organization, you're 23 years old now. I'll allow you to do your introduction in a moment. You're 23 years old now. If you were in a major organization, maybe you'll be getting the tea for a boss or something, which is nothing wrong with that, I think, but you're getting to express your creative skill and talent, something that I know personally that you're very, very passionate about. How does that feel, being a part of a build-up, being a part of a team like the W group, being given the platform to be able to see a fashion show like that, and your ideas that you contributed come to reality?
Yes, sir. Good evening, leaders. Good evening, PT. Once before
you can do your introduction of I'm Alejandro.
Okay, sir. I am Minister Alejandro. I am the head of communications for the CNG. So I actually want my team to be messaging and commenting in the chat for the YouTube saying CNG Communications active, please, to represent our team very, very well. But yes, so I have been serving in the social media team with the likes of Pastor Abisola and Pastor LaBelle for the past 4 years. I actually came into it because of Pastor Mariam. When I was doing social media with AY Bands, I had to learn so many different things and learn how to, you know, make an influencer out of an entity. So actually create something that the social media industry can actually take in. So Pastor Mariam actually introduced me to the Woman of the City back in the day, 2019 actually, and I ran my first campaign. I have that picture with PT where we stood in front of the taxis, where we slapped on the cover all over the taxis. It was my first experience doing something like that, working with Pastor Sephora, Pastor Mariam and the team. And then due to that, I actually became infiltrated into the W once it, you know, when we moved from the Woman of the City to the W. And last year was my first time working with the team, and this year was the first time that I actually got to lead in presenting my social media ideas and actually pitching to the team with the likes of Pastor Daniel Hedewa, Pastor Margaret Boyo, Pastor Shemaya, like all the big dogs in the game. Like, I was actually so shook when I was going to do my presentation. And then at the end, everyone was like, oh my God, how do you even do the slides like that? Like, teach me. And I was just so gassed. I was like, oh my God. And I got to teach the first gen, you know? But yeah, the experience was crazy because I didn't actually, I didn't preempt that such a platform like the W would have given the CNG members an opportunity to shine.
Let's talk about that, because how many interns did you bring to the W fashion show in total anyway?
So I actually have 13 people in my team, and they're all souls, and 8 of them actually contributed on the day. Pre-show, we had calls 24/7, like till 1 a.m. because that's when the W calls would end. So then I would call my team saying, guys, this has just been said, so we have to do X, Y, Z. And they're from the ages of 17, and the eldest is 23. There's only one 23-year-old, and everyone else is 17 to 18. So they're very, very young, and they're very eager. That's something that I think I'm very, very grateful for, because it's a whole new generation. Like, they're genuinely so eager for opportunities. Like, they'll be belling off my phone at 4 a.m. saying, oh my God, Ma, I came up with this idea. And I'm thinking, like, I just went to bed. Like, but either way, I have to listen to that. Pre-show, the hype and the preparation was so intense. We came up with a 7-page document of everything we need to capture, and I was there from 7:30 a.m. with Pastor Licia and the team, making sure that everything was captured well. And one thing about social media is you only have one chance to capture something. So if you teach your team well, they're at every corner, so there's not one thing that can be missed. So, like, I think Pastor Abisola and Pastor Lebel have taught us this from very much early on. And their characters are actually what built us. The excellence and the high performance, like, you have to deliver, and you can't get tired. Because really and truly, that was a very, very long day. By the time it hit like 2 p.m., people were already hungry. And I'm just like, you better just drink that water and get back on the show. But yeah, it's very intense. And then post-production is now where, okay, cool, I've got 2,000 photos to go through, 5,000 videos to go through. I've got to sit down everybody to teach them, okay, this angle wasn't right, so you got to do this next time. And we're planning a review forum on Friday. So everyone, I wanted it to be an experience where they can also add that to their portfolio. So having a review forum of, okay, we all did X, Y, Z, and how can we now present it to the world so that you can get whatever clients you want at the age of 18. It's not impossible. So
let me ask you, what is some of the feedback from those who did serve? Meaning, like, how did they feel when they see all the 3rd gen and 4th gen publishers posting the content that they may have contributed to? Thousands and thousands, if not millions of people having now seen these contents. Do they feel fulfilled? Do they feel excited? Do they message you and think, oh my days, it's all coming out now, all that hard work, there's reward to it? How does that happen? I'm just, the conversation is getting serious, so I'm actually really, really interested in.
I have so many, I take a screenshot, I send it to you all the time. There's actually one of the people in my team, he went to school, to secondary school with me, so we was in the same classes for like, since year 7. We've known each other. He doesn't do God, and his parents are Buddhists. But the experience, he messaged me and he said, I'm not gonna lie, like, regardless of me trying to get closer to the faith, or he says the faith because obviously he doesn't understand our language as of yet, but that's what he can, like, express himself as. He's just saying the experiences that CNG has brought, and obviously the family in general, he's never experienced like that in his life. Like, you will only experience such a high level of production if you're actually infiltrated in the industry. So I think it's such a big win for the family. So if we can just get a round of applause for that. It's such a big win because people genuinely will never experience that in their life. I think coming from a band's background, I know what it's like to not be able to get into Fashion Week, because I would have to email 80 emails a day to get Pastor Nathan into Fashion Week, and it just wasn't going through. So it's just like, I know how hard it is for people to not just get in but to work it, and now they actually have that in their portfolio before they're even 20 years old. So yeah, I think that's the highlight of my...
I love that, and I've been loving all the contributions. I'm coming to you now, Madam Shewa. It's actually interesting to see, and of course the conversation is going to get even more intense as we get ready for PT, but it's actually interesting to see how much our leadership and workforce is getting younger, but more skillful, more passionate. I think that's very incredible. And we're always inspiring the world. But sometimes we have to take time to realize that we're inspiring ourselves consistently. The first win in the W fashion show, now that I'm hearing an Alejandro speaker, Dre speaker, the first win is the fact that we could show up and have that platform for many of our own soldiers. And that is a major, major win. So, Madam Shewa, first thing, of course, now you're like almost like a senior leader in the family now. We were on a call yesterday and we were hearing how much you were responsible for certain parts of the program. I can only put it that way on this amazing podcast. Order of service.
Okay, so actually, to stem off
what do you say? Slow down, partner. All right.
Partner.
Partner. All right, cool. Slow down.
Okay, so to stem off what you've kind of said, I'd agree with you and yourself, Jadida. I'd say that whenever I take part in a service, it inspires and shocks me first. And I feel like it's very hard for you to consistently be surprised by something you're so familiar with, because it's like order of service is actually the service. So I already know what's going to happen, but I'm still very shocked on the day, and it's like, wow. And I'd sit with like Josephine Capital and I'd be like, there's no way we just did this, or this is actually crazy. I walked into the Mercedes-Benz world and I'm thinking, we're actually about to host something here. You don't usually see things happening in places like this. We have people traveling all the way to Weybridge to experience something that we are providing them. And I think that's just such a beautiful thing. And to kind of just touch on the entire team of like order of service, I think it started a bit further back when like banking was hosting events, and Pabs would always tell me like, we're actually preparing you for something great. And the funny thing is I didn't see it at the time. It's just like, okay, you have me writing an order for an event, great, we do it, thank you. And then it was almost as in I moved into like nation order of service, and she said, see what I'm saying? So when she was being finicky about details and punctuation marks and apostrophes and all these little things, I didn't see the need for it at the moment, but now I understand the level of detailing I need to have when actually taking part in order of service. I'd also say it's quite a demanding role in terms of, I think I came to you like 3 times on Sunday and I'm like, I don't have information, Pastor Sam. I don't have information. And that's because order of service actually relies on information to be able to run the service, because I also work with the floor team. So I need to be able to go back to the team and provide them with information. So I just say, as a whole, order of service for me, I've been into a few teams in the nation. I didn't get kicked out. I just left, maybe. But order of service is the best team to me.
I actually have a question. You mentioned level of demand, detailing, in terms of programs. And the reason why I'm getting into it is because, for me, the people sitting down in front of us are the best in the nation and around the world because of what you've been exposed to, training-wise. Level of detailing leading up to a show like that. In your eyes, because we can all just look at it as normal, but when you're watching, when you're observing, when you're participating in it, how do you feel? What do you take away? What do you learn?
I think in the moment, I'm very on edge. It's like, this is next. If this doesn't take place, what happens? When the fire alarm went off, I was literally going through it. It's like, what has happened? This is now not the order of service. So in terms of the detailing of the service, it's very specific. Timing, what happens next, what is supposed to take place in a segment, the aims of segments. That's something we're actually talking about. This segment took place, yes, but did we achieve what we wanted to achieve? I think it's thrilling. It's kind of exciting. It's like it has me on edge. It's like an adrenaline rush. It's like, yes, what's next? I'll be doing this. I'll be on time. So for me, it's always an experience every time I'm serving. On a Sunday, on a Thursday, it's always been an experience for me. Nothing short of it.
I'll come to Malik Sound. I know you weren't expecting, but my question to you is this. As we are expanding in the nation, so it doesn't have to be on Sound directly, but as we are expanding in the nation, what I'm asking you now is, how do you view everything you get to participate in? How does it make you feel that you get these opportunities and these platforms? I was actually looking, and congratulations to Recon, who did their event on Friday. I was actually looking at platform and exposure from the nation. The weekend was incredible. What we achieve in a weekend, people take 10 years to achieve. So I'm now asking you, how does it feel to be a part of that, to participate in it, and get the opportunities that you get?
Good evening, sir. Good evening, PT. I think, how do I feel? I was thinking about this as well on Sundays. Soon will be, I feel lucky, like it's a privilege, because the next step is, well, not the next step, but soon one day we'll be sitting up in a palace, setting up in a royal place. So it's like, it's a mad opportunity. So that's how I see it. How I see it, and I say all the time to people around me, is that it's like one day people will look to us and say, yeah, someone will say, you've served at Nation Family. It makes us special. That's how I see it. It actually makes us special. You know, like, honestly, 100%. That's what I think about it all the time, is that I'm not going to take it for granted, regardless of how I feel, because at the end of the day, it's like will be the equivalent of the highest level of service ever, is that I've served the Nation Family. That's how I feel. That's how I see it.
You have to love that. The comments are saying facts, incredible experience. And I'm saying to everybody, Nia, you're sitting there looking cool, so I have to come to you. Ramses and guys, I'm coming to you. And I want to get everybody's experience in a moment, but I'll do it, and then probably we'll go to a break where we then have a performance. So Nia, I'll hear from you last for now. And I'm saying to you, okay, you already know what it's like to be a servant leader within the nation. You're gearing up towards a program, behind the scenes. What are your responsibilities? New generation departments that are popping up with so much responsibilities now. How are you taking on those responsibilities, and what do you think they're adding to you?
Good evening, Pastor Sam. Good evening, PT. I am Minister Nia. I feel like one of the departments I've served in on the day was the PR department, and that was very much heavy in the background on making sure that all the guests and influencers were accounted for on something that we called a face sheet, so that we can account everybody. So that was something I served in on the day. But I do feel like one of the things I was grateful to actually do was post the content after, in what PT instructed all the 3 and 4Gs to do after. I'm someone that I can post on social media, but I tend to come off and on as I choose. But posting the fashion week and posting PT and the rest of the family, I think in total I got around, across all platforms, so Snapchat and TikTok, I think I got around just under 15K views. And that's quite mad for me because I don't post. So I was thinking, where's all these views even coming from? But it just shows the importance of actually capturing content from your perspective and actually posting that, because you don't know who you're reaching out to. I had people today popping up to me and saying, how can I get my clothes and content in the next fashion show? And I'm saying, send your portfolio and I'll see who I can speak to. So you don't know who you're actually reaching out to. And that's why I think it's so important for us, especially as the younger gens, to be posting whatever we can, because we don't actually know who is watching us and our content.
Thank you. I think that's incredibly inspiring. Two things I'm taking away. I'm coming to you next, Michelle. Of course, two things I took away from that, which is the fact that you're young bosses, and so now you're receiving portfolios from people. And number two, of course, is the fact that the arrangement, the order of this house, the fact that you're saying words, meaning your sentences and the things you are responsible for are actually strange to your generation. You're saying that you're part of PR and your job is to arrange and make sure guests are seen to in a certain way. And it puts you miles ahead of the game. I'm not just saying this as somebody that's looking down the barrel at a generation. No, I'm saying this as the fact that we're comrades. We do the same work. Even though we may be different generations, we're on the same platform, doing the same work, executing with the same level of excellence. That brings me to Michelle. How old are you, Michelle?
I'm 16, sir.
You're part of the set design team.
Yes, sir.
Talk me through the day in your own perspective.
Sunday was, I think it was crazy. I think that's the word I would use. Crazy doesn't necessarily have to be bad. Got there from like around 8:30 a.m. and we were told that we had 2 hours to finish the set, and it was empty. All there was literally cars. So before I had even taken off my coat, I think I was arranging mirrors on the table. At one point, I almost even slipped. I was running with tape, and I almost slipped, but it was crazy. The pressure, it was a lot. But like Jadida said, it was good pressure. It wasn't pressure that made me feel like, how am I going to do this? It was more pressure of, I have to do this, and I have to do it well, because I'm grateful that I've been given the opportunity to be a part of something like this. But yeah, the pressure definitely, it pushed me. But when you're like being guided and being led, there's a Pastor Maggie telling you, okay, this is what's next. You need to do this a certain way. There's a Pastor Daniel helping you with things. It's okay. It's like the pressure doesn't actually mean anything. I've never, ever been a part of something like that before. So Sunday was so different to me, but it was great. It was an experience. And it was so successful. Even though the fire alarm did go off, it was like, it was so good to actually be a part of it, because the set is so important. When you walk in, the first thing you see is the set. If you come in and the set is disappointing, the poster's leaning off the wall like this, or the chair, like, you're going to think, okay, so what's next? You're going to kind of feel like, is this what I signed up for? So I think the set is so important, and being part of the whole set production team, it was great. It was amazing. So, yeah.
Truly, truly inspiring. I think all the comments should just simply be that we have young, excellent leadership within our family. We're not just hearing from I don't even think anybody on this set would be your usual leadership coordination, but these are leaders who are actively participating in the success, and we've heard about the personal responsibility. I'm going to go to a break. The discussion only intensifies from here as we introduce more elements of the discussion. We'll be back with a Basketball Nation and then a performance from one of our very own. See you soon.
All that waste of time was a bunch of stolen grace that the devil took. I know them souls that we saved got the devil shook. I know sometime in the future they write hella books about the family, how we put men on their feet and we gave ourselves a better look. It's Chase on the beat.
Say defense, you just run down the clock. Don't smash the shots. Run down the clock. And we're good. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 3. Nobody has the ball. 110. 3 seconds left. Basketball Nation win.
Of course, Basketball Nation, you guys were awesome. Asdegi, what a beautiful piece of making, what a beautiful show we put together today. Until we call it the biggest basketball movement in this city. I love you guys.
Fxmily. Yeah. Well, welcome to another KT Productions. I hope you enjoy it, but if you don't, you know what to do. Go see a doctor, cause it ain't on me, it's on you. I'ma go my own way. Knew from young that I was in my own lane. Damn, I miss the old days. Stuck in my own ways. Yeah. Day-to-day battles between the soul and the mind. No pain, no gain. See, can you find? Only real eyes can read between the lines. Truth in the lies. Was an empty vessel, had to pour new wine. I'm the truth for your eyes. A test to the vine. What? Tested by truth. Challenged by time. Pulled up the mud. Held to the vine. Fake guys make following truth feel like a crime. They stuck in the mud, but surrounded by lie. So when you read, see, can you find you a gem in the mind? But we trapped in the mind, even though the soul shines. You there, now you are ways around. When I was down bad, you didn't seem to care. But now you say down, say okay, okay. That's what they all say. What? Okay, you do you, but I'ma go my own way. I'ma go my own way. Grew up in the world where I had no say. Remember feeling lonely. We grew up in the wild. Couldn't fit in our shoes. Yours we walk 100 miles. Truth gave me life and purpose gave me more days. What? Do more and speak less. Speak less. Speak less, sacrifice to all. They want nothing left. I said greatness is the goal. Can never settle for less. What else? Giving him all on. I'ma be amongst the best. What else? Following the leader, now they following our steps. I said following the leader, now they following our steps. I was in the trap, that's what I left it behind, man. I had to forget. Now we fighting for progress. Came from a hard place. I'm never stopping. That's where the heart is. I didn't see you there. Now you are. Where's around? Yeah, I think we all know the words by now. Say it with me. Okay. That's what they all say. One more time. Okay. You do you, but I'ma go my own way.
Come on. No, you gotta give that some. Yeah. You said you gotta go see a doctor. Cause that ain't on me, that's on you. Listen, we're about to get into a conversation. First of all, I heard there's a competition going on at the moment between publishers. You know, there's a bit of an aggression happening. I heard campaigners sent out for CNG, but Pastor Josh isn't around, so I can't he's not in a place to defend himself right now. And so CNG then sent word back that we're gonna make sure that the internet goes viral with the fashion show content. Then emerged out of nowhere. I'm not gonna continue doing that. That's very pastoral of me. But talk us through it. How's the campaign going in terms of the publishers? And then I'm gonna introduce PT so that he can respond to some of the experiences. But I just want, in case people may not know right now, there's a mad drive going on, thousands and millions of views through the mobilizers and publishers of the 3rd and 4th Gen.
Okay, good evening, leaders, good evening, PT. I think how it's going, and I'll talk about my own personal exploits because I can't speak for the other gentleman that is not here, Pastor Josh. But in regards to my own personal exploits, in regards to my reach, I've actually reached around 31,000 people from posting about the W. So from posting about the W on Sunday, I think in general with CNG, we're definitely at the top in regards to social media outreach. Nobody can actually top us. And that's not to talk on other families, it's just talking on our personal exploits. But I think if I'm sincere, what we as CNG have been able to do over the past few weeks has been extraordinary. The reason for that is because all of the team, all of the soldiers, they're actually on the ball. They're actually trying to fit into a shape that maybe they might have thought it's not really them. That shape is the shape of an influencer. You're actually here to spread the message of a PT that we are trying to build the strongest and wealthiest family. How do we do that? We showcase everything that we've got. I was actually looking at the definition of publishers, and it's actually people that oversee stuff that you publish. And what it means to oversee is to actually look intently. You're constantly on the ball. You're constantly focused. So for us as 3Gs, 4Gs, I think that is what we are really showing, that focus, that level of focus, definitely.
I love that. I love that. I'm going to now introduce into the conversation, of course, the mind that makes everything tick, the reason why we have generations and platforms and just like this. And we're going to get into questions, but I think it's only right and fair, sir, that I allow you to respond to some of the experiences that you're hearing. And I think also your own view on what you're seeing based on the experiences that you're hearing as well, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us introduce PT into the conversation.
Thank you. Thank you. First of all, thank you, 3rd and 4th Gen, for quickly responding. This is the fastest response I've seen. Thank you for that. The HQ team, Pastor Daniel and the team, thank you for pushing for it. And we have a lot of happy birthdays to do today. Lloydie, Pastor Lloydie, Reverend Dapper, my senior brother, Pastor Hobie, Tobi Jr., Pastor Sam, happy birthday. I don't know if I'm missing anyone. It's like there are so many people born on the 17th of September. So if there's anyone I'm missing, sorry, I forgot. Of course, Shewa. They mentioned your name so many times in adult meeting yesterday. So I'm thinking, are we supposed to be friends or enemies? Because I can't treat you like a child anymore. If your name is being mentioned in my Zoom meeting, then you're ready for a piercing. So watch your back. I'm looking for your shake-up moment. But I know you're excellent. Happy birthday, Shewa. And of course, sorry? Oh, Aha, Minister Precious. You know I love Minister Precious very much. Is she here? Not here. You know I love her very much. That's my very darling Spark National to the core person. Of course, Pastor Sam has asked me to respond to what I've seen so far and what I'm seeing. The quickness of you guys to put together over 100 people and to push tells me that you are the leaders in your generation. If you have, thank you. And I want you to remember that footballers or musicians are not leaders. They are role models. Role model means that you may want to be a footballer, so you like a footballer. It can't tell you about life. People don't follow them. Because I don't like football, but I like to live. I don't even want to live life. I like to fulfill purpose. So football is not my business. Music, we just hear it when we're playing, having a party or things like that. So role model, someone wants to be, but you don't want their life. A leader builds lives that people want. So someone like Shire, I mean, of course, you know you're going to turn out great, but I'll be surprised if you're not doing what you're doing now, because all you've seen all your life, almost all your life, is a consistent leader. So I don't know what age you are now. You can whisper it to me. Okay. So I've known you for the time that you were a child of some sort, still a child you are, but a child of some sort, to seeing you becoming a matured leader. And even if I've not known you since you were 8 or 9, what I'm seeing here is iron is sharpening iron. People are getting better because of the company that they are keeping. I'm seeing extreme leadership. Alejandra, Malik, that was cold. And everybody, even those who are not on set, I'm looking at people and I'm thinking, we really have greatness on our hands to do, to fulfill. Absolute greatness, pure greatness in the house. The leadership is stunning. And one of the things I think about is, imagine these opportunities that you all have to serve in departments. Imagine you have an adult in court leading that department now, and the adult decides to walk away. But before they walk away, they want to drag you along. They're going to drag you from opportunities. And you wonder, where are you taking this child to, for God's sake? That's the concern of the church structure now, the family structure, to protect. Because it takes a lot for a W and the team to build programs like this. And many other programs, Basketball Nation, everything going on within the nation. But it is worth it because of the kind of opportunity it gives to everyone and the millions of people you all will give opportunities to because of what you learned. So I'm extremely excited, encouraged, realizing that our works are not in vain because we're seeing a whole new generation of leaders who are serious about service. You guys are actually serious about service. Yes, it's true, Nia, you do social media, but I see you drive your leader. You're there, you're a secretary, you're everything. So we just have a house of Ramses. See, you do whatever you do, you're a giver, I was told, but you also work in the security or protocol or some department like that. And that's the kind of spirit that is upon everybody. Everyone within the house. That's the kind of reaction we get across the board. Whatever the leader is, if the leader is a true servant, you will be servants too. That's leadership. If the leader is a loyal person, you'll be loyal too. That's the spirit. Whatever the leader is, you begin to take that shape. You begin to walk in that shape. But maybe I'll wait for questions. So I'm excited, I'm encouraged at this generation, a day is going to come, I'm going to ask you for 5,000 young people to walk the street with me. And I know you're going to do it, because we will do it. That's the plan for next year. Because you can bring your company of photographers, your company of influence, everybody will be on the street, and perhaps we will get 10,000. That's my reaction. Hope and believe in the absoluteness of your determination to build the wealthiest and strongest family. That's what I see in this house.
Thank you, sir. I believe there are questions for you, and I'm going to coordinate those questions now. By a show of hands, ladies and gentlemen, the moment has arrived. Shall I start with you, since you haven't said anything yet? Not because you didn't want to, but because it hasn't been given the opportunity. So, over to you, Pastor Ramses.
Thank you, Pastor Sam. Good evening, leaders, and good evening, PT. My name is Pastor Ramses. And my first question to you, PT, is, from event to event, how do you maintain and uphold the level of excellence and high performance?
Thank you. And by the way, 16-year-old, well done. And thank you for not sleeping off. But well done for that beautiful, beautiful work you all did. Sometimes I imagine how many people are working on different things. And listening to you tonight, very encouraged, and I thank the senior pastors and all the strategy head for making sure that people have opportunities. When we drag ourselves, when we push ourselves to mobilize, I'm just a thinker. My attitude to the first program I ever did in London, or anywhere in the world, but let me use London so that we don't go past our imagination. My attitude to the first program I ever did is still my attitude to this one. You said it, man. It is not that we want to do it or not. It has to be done. That's always been our attitude to programs. And for me, even though it's been 20 years I don't think I've missed one day of programming, not 1 week. It's one thing or the other. And the first program, maybe I think it was some convention that we did. That's what I'll call the first program. And that's for it's a lot of people, about 15 to 20 people. But I've got the same attitude. It has to be excellent. And the excellence then, who do you have? You didn't have anybody. You didn't have nobody. You didn't have now we have mobilizers, you have families, you have this, you have that. There's nothing called mobilizer. In fact, an elder in the church will just be saying, why are we renting this big hall? Pastor, you better let's do it in the living room. God is everywhere. The reason why he's asking is he doesn't want to contribute. What do we call it now? He doesn't want the target. And then what would the target be for a convention for 15 to 20 people? Maybe 50 pounds. It's just, there was a time we had men's department, and what they were challenging themselves to do, you have to hear this, the men's department, they were arguing, and I finally said, what's the argument? They said, this guy is new and young and is vibrant. He wants us to be contributing £5 a month for the men's department. How can we do £5? Can we not do 2? Yeah, they don't want to do £5 a month. You wonder, how does PT react to such? I just ignored it. I just walked away. So we had to do these things ourselves because they must be done. So when we've checked, it's £1.25 a week, yes. When we thought about what to do next, it wasn't driven on ego. It's not, let us also look important like another church. It was always looking for How do we progress our community, our people, give them opportunities? When we first started having protocol, and I think Pastor Lucy was repeating it to someone the other day, when you see people around us, it's not because we can't drive ourselves or carry our bags, it's because it's the only way to introduce someone to service. It's sometimes it's even inconvenient, but because we had the attitude of it must be done, I did from program to program about 20 years ago, all the way we walked our way from those 15 people to thousands of people in wherever we walked our way into. The attitude has not changed. The attitude is just, it has to be done. You look at the end result. When you're looking at WU program this weekend, the recon at Samsung on Wednesday, on Friday, pardon me, and many more programs, it is because we know it helps someone. And what has happened is that the seed of those many years from a PT has infected other people, so that it's not just PT telling them what to do, they can contract the spirit of that service themselves, because it's a spiritual thing. It is deeper than just let's run program, because you'll be tired. You'll meet difficult people along the way. Some programs have difficulties, some programs have consequences. You'll meet leaders that are just difficult, and you may want to quit, because at some point you'll just say, look, I am popular enough, I can now live my life. But it wasn't driven by the thirst or hunger for popularity in the first place. It was driven by the need of a community. Look at what I'm hearing in the house tonight. Most I'm hearing it for the first time. Most of you, I'm seeing it, you at the close range for the first time. But how can we not give this opportunity and this platform to ourselves? Who will give it to us? Alejandra mentioned trying to work for Upcycle and having to write to 80 of these people or more, emailing them to allow you to come in. But they won't. And it will be foolhardy not to just create your own thing, working with your own community and making sure you're just the best at what you do. Yes, sir. But the way we're brought up, churches don't do it. They will say, what are you? Do you understand the audacity for a pastor coming from my background, or a pastor coming from any background for that matter, to call a fashion show for Sunday morning? I'm hearing messages like, so you have finally left the Lord. So, wow, this is a bold declaration that you've left this thing. This is blah, blah, blah. So, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. But, you know, the reason why I know I beat them is they can't give them the microphone and give me the microphone and say, speak the word and give me microphone, speak the word. Their church members will convert. So, but it is not just, we preach for many years trying to tell the community, even when we didn't understand, that the word of God and church is beyond four walls. That God said we should take all the 7 mountains of human endeavor. We kept preaching that. We didn't even understand it. I saw it on Sunday. And guess what? The generation that will propagate this, that will make this $1 billion, $10 billion movement, you guys here tonight. So I couldn't, even when I want to quit, I can't, because it's like there is a child being born that is pulling me to keep doing something and saying, just stay there till I come, stay there till I grow up, stay there till I'm 16 or 18 or the ages that you guys are, and then you still need me around to continue to foster that, to build that, to put that courage there, to use the experience to say, we will not quit, we will not stop till you mature enough to propagate this to millions of people. That's how I keep doing it, the call of a generation.
So just interesting, there can be two effects to this as I go to the next question. One, it can remind you how long you've been working for, or two is the second point I'm trying to raise here, that like you just said about a child being born, that you've been working for. Most of the individuals, when you started committing to excellence and holding programs, most of these people were people who were not even a thought yet. And what I'm trying to say this in the best way possible without making it seem like something else. But why are you laughing? No, I'm playing. I'm just saying that it's interesting that you walked a path for a generation that had not even been conceived yet, that will meet you along the way to participate in excellence. And that is quite inspiring, because when you held your first program, which was 15 to 20 people, it was interesting that many people around seating now that are participating and serving in the W fashion show were not even around at all. So I'm now saying that as excellence is contagious, and I'm coming to the young lady, Shay, that is beside you now, who has a question for you. So as we go into your question, I just thought it a point to mention that excellence is contagious, working for generations that are not yet born and not yet seen. Shay, your question now. I know that's a lot to work on, but go for it.
Let me just, before Shay, there was, God understands timing and manifestation. So it could be, I came in 2005, maybe as the taxi or the bus that was driving me about, Shewa's dad and mom were still trying to talk. They were in Nando's doing dating and telling themselves, I will love you forever, I'll love you forever. But I was driving past. I should have stopped to say, you see what you're about to do, where this thing will end, yeah? So God understands timing. He matches generations and people. He understands, but we don't. So we get impatient and people walk away from greatness because they don't understand timing. They don't understand that Yehoshua had to grow to be 33 years old in order to save the world. So there are no children saviors. And say, this child is so special. He started speaking at the age of 1. You know, you've read those mysterious stories before. And if you wait for a while, you say, where's that child now? It's probably dead or something. It's become, they say, oh, this child opened those mysterious stories. Any child that is like that is just going to vanish. All the world saviors have timing and normal lives, normal birth, and things like this. So just knowing that, and I'm growing to understand that, because when you start a walk, you are eager, you're very energetic, and you think it's going to be this and that. But God, who sees the end from the beginning, that's why his name is eternity, understands that if a man gets the word, tunes into the right frequency, time becomes inconsequential to you. Service becomes time for you. Jacob loved Leah, loved Rachel so much that he asked to serve for 7 years in order to marry this lady. And the Bible says 7 years plus another 7 years, 14 years was but like a day to him. I, as PT, I can't differentiate between now and 20 years ago. My spirit has not comprehended what has happened in 20 years, because it is not 20 years. For me, it's each day. I had to adopt the principle without effort of, I deal with each day when they come. Because someone say trouble is coming tomorrow. I say, when tomorrow comes, we'll deal with it. 20 years has been like a day because I actually love the development. So if you ask me for another 10 years of doing this same thing, I'll gladly do it, because I would love to see, as God keeps Shewa or Malachi or Alejandra or Malik or Jerusha or our good Baba or Nia Dre or Nia or Terry, as God keeps them, I would love to see what they become, because I saw what your first gen became. Very good. I saw what second gen is becoming. It will be interesting to see that you have those 2 layers of leadership and what you become. It's interesting to see. So how can 20 years mean anything to me for that? It won't mean anything, because you're constantly working at something you can see in front of you. I needed to add that before Shay.
Over to you.
Okay.
You can introduce yourself, what family you're from, and then you can ask your question.
Good evening, leaders. Good evening, PT. I am Shay, 17, and I serve in the stewards department. My question would be, how do we lean on the expertise of our first and second gen leaders, and how does that help us within ourselves?
Thank you. First of all, don't lean on any first gen and second gen expertise, please. Just let's face each other. I'm here now. Lean on my expertise, first of all. Let's just be clear on that. The expertise, will see how it goes. Because expertise can fade off. The service and the understanding of the service spirit of your leader is the important thing. Because what do you do when an expert is no longer an expert? The work as his mind, the mind of this work speaks to us every Thursday, every Sunday. Whenever the word starts coming out, the word is conforming you to what will make you prosper. I love it yesterday on that Zoom, as interesting as the Zoom was. And when Cecily spoke and was making it clear, our own division, we're not answering to anybody. We're answering to the family. You see, such words in discouraging moments fires up my spirit, because that means the person understands what they are doing. That's an understanding, because it's not based on, I want to fight. It's just based on fact. The person they are talking to also is not against the fact. It's the same group, but it's also important that emphasis is made on the understanding of the spirit of the house. Once you dedicate your time to understand this vision, once you dedicate your time to understand the word here, remember that when you started studying in school, those who have studied in uni, you didn't understand what the law class was saying at first, if you studied law. But because you dedicated your time to going, you became a lawyer, expert lawyer. You will become a great expert of this vision. You'll become a great manifestation and manifester of all the words that are being said in this vision, if you are just dedicated enough to keep listening. And then God will begin to give you leaders with the art that will protect you all through, so that you don't go to choose a leader who falls off tomorrow and wanders away, and you then wander away with them into oblivion, or wander somewhere else too. We became, those who are lawyers or medical doctors became surgeons, or Tofumi became a qualified civil engineer, not because you understood what they were saying at first, but you dedicated your time, you dedicated sleepless nights, you dedicated money, school fees, you dedicated everything to it. Then you become a civil engineer or electrical engineer or something like this, a scientist. Now, what are you going to do now? Lean on the word. Lean on the word you hear from PT and the PT-approved dealers. There are people who sell Mercedes, but they are not Mercedes-approved dealers. And listen to those words and try, through those dedication, to understand those words. You become an expert. What you will then do will triple from what the first gen did or the second gen did, because of time. You have time. And then the word is getting better. When the first gen was first hearing mountain taking, how can they understand it? The only mountain we went to is 4th floor Lancaster House. So it's difficult. But most of them have worked hard, built something. All the first gen that are still around, they are perfect in my own eyes. Nobody can divide the family. If I have an issue with someone, that's my issue, not yours, not someone else's, not anyone. For me, if someone come and talk to me about that, I'm just gonna say, "What did you want to talk about again?" And say, "Oh, Pastor, I'm just gonna lose it straight away." I'm gonna tell them it's family. You do know it's my family you're talking about. Don't try it. So there's no problem there. I'm just saying that for the sake of all of us, what we have to lean on, first of all, the word, the spirit of this word. You become an expert dealer in it. Your leaders will train you, will help you to maneuver life situation. That's what they are there for, life situation. Don't go this way, listen to this. No. Don't write that letter this way. You maneuver things. So a problem is coming, it's media, you know how to solve it. This is how to go. You'll be less argumentative as well, so that the word and leadership can do a faster work in you. How do you become expert in this work? Listen to the conversation and the word, and dedicate time, money, effort, and emotions to it.
Thank you, sir. Coming next to Malachi, who has a question for you. So over to you, sir.
Good evening, leaders.
How old are you, Malachi?
17, sir. Good evening, PT. My name is Malachi. I'm 17 years old. I'm a member of the Inspire family, and I serve in the Nation Floor team. And my question for you, sir, is for events like the fashion show, how do you work under pressure when we go into those type of events? Or do you actually face any type of pressure?
Well, I think I face the biggest pressure, because if anything happens, the first person on blog, the first person on newspaper, depending on what newspaper decides to pick it, is more myself. With the picture. These guys never talk without picture. I don't understand. Can you not just put my name for once? It has to be picture. Meaning, catch him, you know. But so that's the first pressure. They're not even the first pressure. The first pressure is, progress can unify or divide. And so people can get into program and come out of it hating each other. Remember that the work of a PT is a position of honor that makes every unlikely person listen to themselves. That's leadership. Leadership is just a melting pot where everybody, I can get Dre to work with Jerusha and Alejandra, and they may hate themselves, but they will come to my meetings because it's PT. So leadership is a melting pot. Everybody, either is the president of a nation or the leader of an organization, there's just an aura of respect based on truth and experience that the leader, that's why the only way to destabilize a leader or to destroy people, not even destabilize a leader, the way to destroy people is you destabilize the leader by deraping the leader. So each time they spoke about Christ, Yehoshua, it is to make him lose credibility. The reason is simple, so that the people that can work together to build a thing will not work together because they will not trust the leader. So the pressure of making sure that you don't come out of a program and have a divided people because they fought through the program now. And people do that. People are very stubborn. That's the first pressure. You're going to see the greatness in these two people working together, the greatness and the protection. She will protect her. She will make her great, or him or her as well. But you'll see stubbornness because humans are subtly egotistical. So you have all egotistical and all sort of things go on in people's minds and lives. So first pressure, how do you get people to work together? Then how do you make sure that the program actually produces the results that people are promised to produce? And if you've gone, and you guys are new on board, but you've been under those pressure as well, you see our programs are short planned. And we've tried to change that many times, but I think that's the heart of this program. It is to build, what it does is it builds people who can deliver under all circumstances. So that if you then get those who box, those who maybe play football as well, they train under harsh conditions, but majorly military people, they train under harsh conditions so that should they now be put in easier positions, they can fight better. But don't go and train under easy position and then you get into a harsh position, you won't perform. So we train under very hard conditions. Sometimes there's not enough money to run the program, but you will have to have it. Sometimes there's not enough because we're training for something greater. There's something bigger in front of us. And success and greatness is a big fight. It's not easy. So, yes, we work under pressure. My own daily life is pressure. We've lived now, and I've been asking God, when will I not just live on the hedge? Just give me like a 1 year break, and I'll come back to the hedge. I promise you that I'll be back. In case you just like me on this hedge, you know those hedge you're falling off, and it's been 20 years, you never just fall off. So daily life is pressure already. So a program is no longer an issue. No problem with program, because you can, they call it the slaughterhouse. Which one do they call slaughterhouse? Okay. So where they trade. So work under pressure, but it is a thing that must be done. And you see, pressure is only mental. It's mental. If you can get a hold of your mind and heart, you will do anything, because the human brain is limitless, really. It's just that once you choose the kind of pressure you fall for, your whole body and mind adjust to what you choose. We've never just allowed, there's no program that we've pushed for over the last 20 years that's not extremely successful. So the W show is just one of it. Of course, in the middle, when they say the round up the program, first you have a 30-second panic of what's going on, and is this really happening? But immediately, because you've run so many programs, my head just goes back to quickly calculate everything that has happened during the day, and at that point, I was willing to say, that's it, because already we've achieved what we need to achieve. So imagine that kind of pressure is unexpected. The people we must all clap for, the Order of Science and the floor team. Immense pressure, little support, little information, and they have to perform because they were receiving pressure from leadership, main leadership now, because we can see how this thing is going. There were too many people. The venue will pull a magic, something somewhere. So for them to respond, I rate their work ethic. I rate what they had to do, because it's a lot of pressure. Now, only God knows how many other persons and people are under immense pressure, but we all reacted well. The best of us is calm under pressure, knowing that we must achieve results. For me, calmness, the determination to make sure the work is done because of the people and the many people involved in it. That's how I look at pressure.
Thank you, sir. I'm just waiting for... Okay. Sir, over to you.
My question would be, 3rd and 4th gen are labeled as the mobilization generation. How do we continue expanding the churches? What would you like to see us do next?
Well, it's not... I understand when you use the word label. It's God's call for you. It came out of prayer and meditation. Thinking about what now is the 1st gen, because I must start the definition of anything I do. I must start anything I do with a definition. When, after God had raised the man earth from the earth, he defined him, he called him Adam, life-giving spirit. So he has to define it first. So at every changing times, every evolution we go through, I must define my own soldiers first. What now is 1st gen to me? I have to look at it, otherwise I'll be expecting from them what I can't get. And I define them. It's supposed to be leadership. The 2nd gen, the 3rd gen, the 4th gen. You are the mobilization generation because you have a whole new generation, a whole new age of people who will not have anything to do with God unless someone is talking to them that is of their age, but also that person must be under the leadership of someone that has been their age and is still relevant within the circle of influence that they are speaking about. So this is not saying first and second gen cannot mobilize, but we're saying the generation we need to reach, their words, the words they understand is in your mouth. But the words you're coming from to speak through your mouth is leadership. Your brain must be leadership. And your mouth must be mobilization. So the programming of your brain is leadership. And let's just say, again, I have to keep repeating these things because the smallest of things can deceive any one of us. Have you seen any cult creating opportunities for people? They say, you see this cult, it's called Blackness of Evil Heart or whatever cult was it. But guess what they are doing? They are creating platform. Cults don't create platform. They cage people within their ideas and they operate in the dark. We went to Mercedes-Benz and we ran a fashion show. Created opportunities for people. The reason why I said that is this. The forming of your mind must be total belief and commitment to leadership, trusting that what leadership wants for you is prosperity and nothing else. And of course, to prosperity in order to serve God and to help humanity. So your words must be mobilization. Whatever gets your generation, whatever work you speak, what you speak may be like, oh, hey, partner, something like this. This is new gen stuff. And I'll be using it a lot. And then your works must be relevance, fashion show, the Barbarian movement, and all the beautiful things you guys do. But your brain, forget the brain you were born with, leadership, Soundcloud, the words you heard from leadership must be the control place of your brain so that either you are Victoria or Nanjo. I spoke to Nanjo briefly the other day and Pastor Buki tells me some of how you think. Very interesting generation. But imagine how many of you guys are out there without the word and without leadership. You are the definition of doing well because your brain is alive, is quick, but you have the word which is faster than any generation. The word of God, the word is so powerful that it is millions of generations ahead of us. The word is thousands of years ahead of us, meaning it is not just Gen Z or Alpha generation. The word has gone beyond those generations. The word can decode what is going to happen next. We just have to have servants that can decode the word, speak it to you, and you willing to understand that word. So when I say that your brain must be leadership, I'm saying that there is nothing bigger than leadership that is based on the word. I'm not talking about social service leader. Social service leader provides house for you. You want 1 penny, they buy you shoe. That's social service. That's why someone would say, well, if he's living, I'm living because that's the house I live in. You didn't come to a social service. They do that in social services. It is the word that we followed because it is our only entry point into the future. So it is God's word that calls you the mobilization generation because it knows that for your generation you have things that others do not have. You have the word, then you have the blessing of age, and you have the blessing of the sharpness of mind, and you have leadership.
Thank you, sir. I believe, Madam Nia, your question that you want to ask is over to you, please.
So my question is, what is your thought process behind the junior head of strategies, and is age a determining factor when selecting them?
Well, I won't want a junior head of strategy to be 65 years old. Left to me, unless God chooses them. But even for God to choose them, they must be around. But age is not. But I had to say that first. The junior head of strategy, or the things that we call assistant head of strategy, they are the foot soldiers. So finance, for example, Pastor Sam is the head of strategy. Pastor Miriam is the assistant head of strategy. Of course, I expect Pastor Miriam to be on the street in court. Is the foot soldier of what the head of strategy is looking at. So they operate, call them operation manager if you like. They are foot soldiers. They are active. They are the ones calling you. And by the time you see the senior head of strategy calling you, then you know we're at war. There's something that needs to be done. Because these assistants are meant to be the people that really are at work. So junior head of strategy is not, oh, let's just give him something. Let's just make sure he is active on something. No way in the world. It is who is present in your face. And it's better to use the finance part. So because finance is important, and I hope there's even no one in the Nation family that is not taught finance. You must understand that money is important. After God, money. And even for some of you, I'm thinking you're saying, okay, let's put it on the same page, because if you don't have money, you will serve strange gods. You will worship idols. This is the issue. So, if you have money, you will choose your own God. And we've chosen Christ. And we'll never, money or no money, that never changes. But with money, it's better. Before God hears it and say, oh, wow, faithful son. I'm not faithful. It's not a... So... But we understand the importance of it. So I will use finance. I know a pastor would be on the field working, making sure things are done. Why is Pastor Sam head of strategy for finance and at the same time senior pastor? Because he's worked with PT for so many years that he knows that if I think of 100,000 or a million, I'm just going to get it. It's just going to have to happen. So it is not his skill for money first. It is the fact that he has seen it. He understands the programming. That's his brain. But also, why would we work with a pastor? Because she's seen it too, and that's her spirit. But the operations is junior head of strategy. The command house, the regulating house, is the senior head of strategy. Is the head of strategy, regulating and making sure that things are done properly, whilst the assistant with the team of the assistants, which in finance would be either the money team or the mobilizers and stuff like this. They are on the field. They are making sure in practical terms things are achieved and things like that.
I believe that's all the questions, sir. So it gives an opportunity for yourself to install within all of the family your targets, publishing-wise and nation-wise, what you want to see from the family this week, what the topic of conversation in terms of focus is, and how you want us, what our formation is this week, sir.
Thank you. Psalm 68, verse 11, the KJV version, speaks about greatness. And I'm hoping I have a Bible reader. There must be many Bible readers in the house tonight. Otherwise, junior assistant pastor will be the Bible reader since it's your birthday. No, take your phone and read the Bible. Or anyone. Psalm 68, verse 11, the KJV version. Just read it however you read it. It's fine. Anyone can read it, actually. I was just teasing. KJV. It speaks about greatness, but it tells us what that is. But let's read it first and then. Read it for me. Psalm 68. Is it 65?
I'm asking.
68:11.
The Lord announces the word, and the women who proclaim it are mighty throng.
The Lord gave the word. I don't know what version you just read. No, I said KJV, ma. Accepted. The Lord gave the word. I also love that version, but the Lord gave the word great. Talking about the shot at greatness. It said the company, great was the company of those that published it. This is the foundation for this week. So when we say Publishers Week, you have to understand that the Spark Nation family, we just don't announce something because it's fancy. This is scripture. If it's outside of scripture, there's no power behind it. The power that changed our lives, the power that sustains the whole world, is in scriptures. And it says, let's not deceive ourselves about greatness. The Lord gave the word. What is the word? Fashion Week is the word, because we've been talking about, Fashion Week is one of the words. We've been talking about taking mountains. You demonstrated it. You manifested what you believed. God has given that word. He said, let's see those who publish it. It calls them the company of greatness. And in this world, you won't have 10 great people at the same time. You will find few people now. So when they say the competition between the churches, and I think I still need to answer you about what do I say about the churches. You have to remind me. You did ask that. The company, please leave that scripture on the screen. The people who publish the word, the people who carry this word to the other people, the people who make sure that what we're doing is published. So Pastor Terry just said he published it and 30,000 people watched it. I received the report that you've been publishing and close to 100,000 people are watching it. It says that's the company of greatness. So if there is a topic for this week, I'm calling it the company of greatness. And when Pastor Sam gave me the go-ahead, I wanted to meet all of you at the Royal House Guard this week, because a little fashion show, then a little fire show. It's important to sustain, to maintain the work. Without the fire show, we become flesh people. And fashion cannot save us. Car rally cannot save us. The word does. All of it came from the word. So whatever family volunteers to take Thursday service first, it's the fire show. It's not. The Lord gave the word. Great was the company. It's the company of greatness. And what I think the third, fourth gen, what I want to see you do next is to have 1,000 active people. Only from 14, 15-year-old registered that can come to your service. Of course, we won't do night service for that. Daytime service that can come to your service and you can mobilize 1,000 people. But you started the rally from this, from what you're doing online right now. We will not leave the social media world. As a matter of fact, I think I entered it so late because we just thought, oh, what's social media? By the time we woke up, people who have no content, people who have nothing, they've already gathered millions of followers. They're already doing their thing. But guess what? We are better, we're bigger, because we have minds like these and hundreds of your the company of greatness that are watching from home right now, whose heart, when they hear Peter's voice, stirs within them. And what I'm asking you to do is that mobilization, put your church on the first level. You know those charts. Don't let your church be like this. And the other one is like this. Then when they now call, then they say CNG, CNG. No, CNG is there. It's here. So he can't talk. No, I'm just using an example. Now, the company of greatness, this week, then post this week, after this week, I want the third and fourth gen to just see themselves as a company. And when people ask, what's the name of your company? Forget Night Shield. Forget, of course, you work for Night Shield. You work with Night Shield. Forget Gloss. You work for Night Shield. You work with Gloss. And all your company, the real name of your company is greatness. We must not apologize for wanting to be great. And greatness starts with daily targets that we meet. As in, a person in the ring, because it takes people in the ring to sweat. So if people criticize us, if they think about us in a funny way, we're in the ring, we're fighting. We're at least doing something. Nobody can say they didn't see what we did on Sunday. I kept saying it, that I've seen what your UK rappers that you love to meet, what they did. I've seen it. I'm telling you now, what these rappers at the top of their career, UK, what they did in this fashion week, if I did that 10 years ago, I'll be crying and I'll almost jump in the ocean. As a pastor that is still in Elephant and Castle, if I did that, I would almost drown myself. But we discovered why they get away with it. They and the people they are talking to have not seen greatness. You are the company of greatness. Don't stop publishing. Thank you. Don't stop publishing. Every tweet, every video you post, every like you give, you're doing it with your own company. A publisher must not be fixated, first of all, on how many people bought their book. They just must know that they are publishing a content that is stronger, more powerful. So, and that's why we'll keep challenging our social media people to evolve, to grow, and to be the best. Just keep publishing the right good thing. Your time will come. Don't rush. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared of those who quickly gather 1 million likes. It doesn't matter. We've seen their likes before. We've seen people like them before. They don't have content. You have content that is life-changing. And so the third, fourth gen must have 1,000 people, active soldiers that you can gather whenever you want, but must also have presence. You must be nuisance on TikTok. Positive nuisance. Don't worry. Bad news flies faster. Social media right now looks like the more stupid you are, the more views you'll get. But guess what? This surging of social media is new. Things evolve, they reset. Just like Malik said, we'll do our thing, or you walk away, we'll do our thing, something like that. I'll do my own thing, something. Let's go our own way, thank you. But he said it like, I'm going to go my own way. So it's a better rhyme that way, I'm going to go my own way. We are going our way, which is life-giving spirit. Those who are popular on those platforms, they have no message. You have a message. You know how many lives you've seen change. You know how many. So we're not going to change our message to theirs. It may walk slow. And I've said this to you before. When we first started church and were struggling 5 years, 6 years after, we're trying to put people together. And you see this revival come, they gather crowd in big places. They've all faded away. And I used to say then, long after they've gone, I'll just be thriving and taking the city. How did I know? I tried to listen to what they were saying. They have no message. I had the message. It was slow to pick up. But by the time it picked up, they were gone. Today, they look and say, oh, wait, so. Oh, wow, it used to, you know. It used to. And we're just starting. So, great was the company. This is the company of greatness. The third and fourth gen, there's a destined greatness for you. Everything we're doing right now is a rehearsal for greatness. Pressure to be able to handle greatness. Don't quit. It is a greatness week. It's the company of greatness week. Yes, amen. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. This, I believe, sir, is an opportunity, not even an opportunity, an awakening for us as a family. And I know we have one more family meeting scheduled for this week. We have many things we're gearing up towards and so much excellence that is about to be demonstrated over the next few weeks and months. I think the last thing I would ask from you, sir, I think you want...
Sorry,
the
title is right, Company of Greatness Week. As in, just look at your company, the people you talk to. If you have spineless people as friends, just remove yourself. It doesn't matter if he's a leader. If a leader is not calling you about money and ending it with the word, or start with money and end with the word, or start with the word and end with money, two things. The question is, what's these other things? I'm not saying you can't gist with people about a series on TV and play, but you know the core of the message is maybe mobilization as well. You know, if that, as in, I just think like, imagine if I've known about, first of all, our own father, because they were in church, they just taught us against money, first of all. It's unbelievable. And the fathers that didn't teach you against money, They just didn't teach you anything. They're just there. I think it's one of the worst things you can do for your child. But guess what? They didn't know better too. So that's not the issue. The company of greatness is one checking people around you. There are good people, then there are great people. Iron sharpens iron. If I can have 100 third, fourth gen, and I know we have more than 100, and they decide to really bond to be a company, COD, Wealth Family, will never lack people and money because they'll mobilize. Capital Banking, Pastor Haba, will never lack anything because they are serious. Gloss will be one of the finest clinic in the world because the people are serious. Love House will be the strongest female movement because they are serious, because of the company people keep. And that's what I'm asking you to do. Form by determination, form the third and the fourth gen into a company of greatness. Just great people. In fact, I think they should make Thursday happen. Fill it with hundreds of people. As in, a time comes in a place where you have nothing to lose. We're just saying, you know what? We're going to show you that Spark Nation can one sudden Thursday night bring 500 people of certain age together. Me, I don't sit in a place and say, oh, you're speaking to just kids. I like it that way. We used to laugh. First, they laughed at us that we're talking to old people, dying old people. They laughed. Then it started changing. They said, just the company, just children. The people they are calling children today, then, is then Pastor Shadia, then Pastor Sam. They've grown to do better. And they're great. Tomorrow, the people they want to call the Sheyi at 16 or Shewa at 18, they used to say, so how would you people have money now? You see this like kids. If you can wait, all the people Recon is gathering today, the Nanjos of this world, they'll be the first to bring $1 billion, £1 billion to the table because they will find something, because their whole life is programmed toward greatness. You'll find top-class leaders like a Jerusha, they'll grow, a Jadida, they'll grow. You build beauty movement, Dre, they'll grow if you stay in the company of greatness. You stay within that company, will change the world. But every week, every day, Enrica wakes up and has to report to Gloss and has to report to our leadership without arguments, just following leadership is a test if you are qualified for that greatness. The kind of peace, the kind of skill that you search for and you bring to your leaders table, and Gloss begins to blossom, Love House begin to prosper more, a Habi or a Marceline. These things you bring to the table is remember how old David was, less than 16 years old, when his father, Jesse, entrusted into his hands sheep. And he protected these sheep with his life. A lion or a bear came one day trying to get them, he won't have it. And those were his father's sheep. It's not like, oh, this is me now feeling. Your generation wants to teach you to quickly be something. Don't yield to it. You will not be able to circumvent the process. I, as PT, haven't come this far. There are places I know we will get to. I'll get to because it's all of us. But I also have put age to it. I would love to get there at 40, but I realize I might have to wait till 54. I get it. Might have to wait. And the more I wait, the more I discover that what I thought I knew last year, what I thought I had capacity for last year, the next test showed me that, oh my God, luckily that breakthrough didn't come because I wasn't ready for it. It is thought like this that you get in the company of greatness. In the company of greatness, you dissect, you break down what PT said, and you discuss it. And you don't allow a stranger's voice to come into the company of greatness, because gossips and rumors, someone said this, someone did this, they are meant to make you spineless people. People that are fixated on myth and fruitless stories. You know what fruitless story means? Meaning after you've heard it, either you take action or not, it doesn't mean anything to your life. You're just being foolish. don't follow that company. People who actually dig for information, meaning positive information now, and share with you. And why are they sharing with you? They're saying, Pastor Sam just announced that we need 400 people because PT wants to speak on Thursday night. Pastor Sam has just announced that we need 50K because PT wants to speak on Friday night. And they share information, you all think about it together. There's no way you will do that consistently for a few years and not be great. It's not possible in this lifetime. It is seed time harvest. That's what I mean by the company of greatness. The company of greatness is a people that you decide to choose by yourself, not the one your community or your local area where you were born gave to you. The school you decided to go to, not the one you had to go to. What is the school you need to go to now? And you chose rather to be Inspire, Lovers and Inspirers, Love House, Elite House, New Elite Gen Church, Life House, Life Family. These are schools you chose. So if someone in that same school is telling you, me, I'm leaving, or you say, no, you didn't choose it for me. We were not born together. I choose. People who choose are people who become great. That's the content of greatness. I'll rest my case on this.
Yes, sir. Our culture is strong. Our culture is thriving. Mobilization, publishing, money is our topics. Transformation. I want us to remember that as much as everybody is sitting here and we're discussing today levels of service, every one of us sitting down is a story impacted by the word, and a story of how a word and vision raises leaders. I think one of the things that we're emphasizing today was how many third and fourth gen are serving in departments. One of the major things about the company of greatness is the opportunities to serve and to join departments and to be attached to the leadership of the house through service is endless. A platform provided for all, and so this is taking it so far back. But I remember one day you asked me to speak on a certain TV platform, and you turned to me and you said to me, "Tell them how you want to provide a place for where young people can express themselves." And this was over a decade ago. Now we're seeing not just young people expressing themselves, but everybody inspiring and sharpening the person right next to them. Yeah. Vision. Why I'm saying that is because it is not just vision told, it's vision in action and vision completed always.
Sorry, Dr. Eugene, you know the building we chose. I want to show you guys something I'm supposed to have shown, but this is going to be the home base of the Nation family. I already know how many years this is going to take us to do. I would hope that you'll be here then so that you don't waste all your seed. The building is not where we're going. The building is the establishment of the fourth gen. Meaning by the time we complete it, the fourth gen would have been established fully. Yes, sir. The Nation family is beyond a building, but the establishment of these academies so that you know this is going to be us. I want you to see it now so that we can mark it. Of course, we're not going to call it the academy. We're still designing it. But it is going to be the base of the academy. It's 7 stories. And that's supposed to represent the number 7. And the Lord has told me this is going to be the establishment of the 4th gen. Of course, from there, we'll wait till another 7th gen and establish another building. I'm not sure why you are quick to remove it. Thank you. And this is London City. This is not going to be Africa. No way. This is here, our base, where God showed your leader, myself the word, where the covenant of God was established. So even if I don't like the city, I cannot deny the work, and they cannot deny the work. If I were you, I'll be using my sacrifice and mind to establish myself and say one floor belongs to our own family. Because if your family head is severed, then it's none of my business. It's not, oh, this guy is nice. No, we're all going to fight our place. Now the Jessica Hacker can say, I paid for a whole floor in this place. I put down 10 million. I put down 30 million. This is the vision of our community. Our bank will be in here. Everything that we need in order to be a nation. This is the office base you guys should be looking forward to. And guess what? When Abraham was leading, there are certain prosperity, certain things he rejected, didn't take, because he had bigger thing in front of him. So I'm not going to compromise and go and take a little place and say, let's just, you know how many times they preach to us? Just buy a church building now, years ago. If we bought a church building, there was one they showed us in Walworth Road. They said, you can manage, just buy this, Walworth Road. We will not want to lose the building, we'll be there now. We'll be doing new gen talk in Walworth Road. Nothing wrong with Walworth Road. Everything in the world that is wrong is concentrated there. It will not inspire you because that's where you grew. It's not far from your house or your former house. It's not far. But those are the areas we're taking people out of. Those are the places we're snatching people out of. Why? Because we don't like those areas. No. So that we can go back and regenerate those areas. Not just the building first, the mind. So if you're still living there, don't say, oh, I don't want to live there again. No. If you're already established in the work, your mind is changing towards something. By itself, it will manifest. You'll break out of the area and you won't know how. So this is the least of our vision. A shareer's mind must be that this is the list and we're building this together so that her life will not be anchorless. You know, where there's no vision, everything happens. Where there's no vision, people just marry. You take someone out of Walworth Road, out of, okay, and then they start dating, they date a person there, and you say, it's finished because you're back there. Say, no, we're just talking because life is good, you know, he's a good guy. There are good guys all over the world. They're good guys. Greatness is a different matter. Pastor Daniel was showing me one of his friends who is an influencer, and he was saying, look, what just helped the guy was he just left the community and went to live with white people for time. So their mindset, and he's not great. Daniel is way greater than him because what can he do? Yeah. But let me leave that to that because he's working hard. These visions, what the NSA should be, what clause or W should be, what the money culture should be, they must be the guiding force of our lives that controls who we talk to, the community of friends we keep. And that's the company of greatness. I know I keep saying I rest my case, but I remember that I haven't shown you that we have a special 3D launch day for it. And we're going to commission it from the 20 years anniversary. And we're going to start working on achieving things like this. All our brands, all our fashion brands, their HQ office, not their showroom, must be in this place. That must be the control tower that leads the entire community and anyone that prospers in our community. This is the vision. And guess what? We're going to do it.
Yes, sir.
We will achieve it.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
Thank you, sir. I think to end on this note is to say our work, our service is towards a vision, the vision that PT has laid out for us. We see every day what to go hard for, why we are publishers, why we are in the departments, and why we make sure that our numbers are hit and we are passionate and diehards, patriots for this vision. So I think with everything that has been said, sir, with your permission, I'll close by saying, and I don't usually do this, but join departments, because it's open now for joining. You can pop up to your leaders and say, look, I want to serve in a department. And like PT has said today, leaders they serve as advisors. Go and speak to so-and-so. Go and did it. And that's what every leader will be doing right now. And then there is also space for people to insist on department heads to be more involved as well. So those are the things that I think today has achieved, apart from the passion and fire to know that for the next decade, we all have work to do, targets to hit, and missions to accomplish. So one more time, can we thank PT for the vision constantly set? And let's celebrate success this week, the publishers, and then everybody.
Sorry, who is Mark Sherman? She's so active on this thing. I love the way he or she responds. Always. Yeah. Mark, you are an encourager. Please go.
Yes, sir. So I'm saying to all of us, let us hit targets, celebrate success of hitting every target set in front of us this week and coming together for, as a family, hundreds of young people to hear the word and do what we do best, which is respond to the word as well. Thank you.
It's relation.